Hi everyone. So I am back from the Dallas Fort Worth Fiber Fest. That was fun. Okay, there's a lot to go through. I know you guys want to see what I got, but I want to do a little bit of talking too. So yeah, lot lots going on, but not a whole lot of projects. What can I say? Been too busy doing other stuff. So with the job transition, you know, I'm gonna blame it on that, even though it was my fault. So if you're just joining me, hi, my name is Jill. I am Blossom. I can be found on Etsy, Facebook, and Instagram as The Essential Blossom. So where do I start? Uh, I had the pleasure of getting to go to the Dallas Fort Worth Fiber Festival. I have seen this advertised a few times and just never have gotten to go. And if I look away, it's because I'm thinking. You ever do that? You're like thinking about something. Look like I'm off in the other world. Um, so I live in West Texas, and Dallas Fort Worth would be about approximately 3 hours from me to my, oh, me and geography, to my north. Yeah, that's right. And it's North Texas, Dallas is. Yeah, so what else? Okay, let me grab my, oh, don't move. This is my lanyard. I'm Blossom64 on Ravelry, so they put your Ravelry name there. Y'all see that? There's proof I got to go. So here's all the stuff they put on it. These are sponsors: Lisa Souza, McKinney Knittery, Fiber Lady, Fiber Seed, Aaron Lane Bags, Buffalo Wool Company, Stitches. Those are the sponsors. And then on the back, it said what classes you took. So right here, these are the classes. My first one was Friday, all day in room 6, Pattern Boss. And Saturday, AM, room 1, Knit Smart. I'm going to tell you all about that. So I'm going to have pictures to insert here. Now, you guys, normally I would do a lot of editing. I would be a lot of breaking this all up. Other than putting some pictures in here, I'm probably not going to do that. Probably not going to do a lot of fluff. Just going to talk and let it be what it is. That's what Ross from Smells Like Yarn says. He hates all that editing. So Ross, I'm not editing a whole lot for you. So we left here on Thursday night. I guess I should tell you what day it is. Today is Tuesday, April the 8th of 2019. So we went up on Thursday night after I got off of work and checked into the motel and just did snacks and stayed in the room and watched TV and got to use the bathtub because We don't have a bathtub here, just a shower. So whenever I get a chance to go soak in a tub, I'm all over it. So is my hubby. He likes it too. We were a little disappointed in the tub. Now we stayed at the Fairfield Marriott. Very nice room. Very nice everything. But they make those tubs and those showers, they're not really for that, you know? So here's the wall, and here's the tub. You gotta put your head on that little ledge. Just not real comfy. But I managed to get a couple of soaks in, and I just wadded up my wash rag. Put that right there, it helps. Use my essential oils in the bath, and yeah, it was good. So then got up Saturday morning. Now my class was at 9:30, and the marketplace I think opened at 9. So I got there, you know, at least a little bit early, probably right around 9 o'clock, and got my lanyard and all of that stuff. And I had free entry into the marketplace because I was taking a class. And so I did go in and look around inside the marketplace before my class started, and I had to. I was there. I had a few minutes. So I did that, and then went to my class. Now, the first class I took, oh, like I said, I'm not editing. I did not do hardly anything since last week when it pertains to projects. Now, something that I had worked on and you guys didn't get to see because there was a bleep out on the video. Hold on. I did finish this. It's just a square. Started out, I was going to make a cowl, but wound up making it too wide and made almost a square. It is a rectangle, but it looks very square. And at no point, see, it's not going to work out as a cowl. It's too, I thought I would make it long, and then I was going to fold it down like Crystal did one of hers. Crystal from Bago Day. Yeah, it didn't work out. I will tell you, I just did a V-stitch. I did several things with this yarn, and I couldn't decide on a pattern that I liked with it. And this is the, I believe it's the Charisma. So it's probably going to wind up being some sort of a table mat, you know, laid on the table and put stuff on it. I worked a little bit on the baby blanket, you know, during this week. And the other thing I worked on was my scarf. I know, I'll get back to the festival. I just forgot to tell you all this, and I'm not editing. Okay. Let me find where I was last time. Because this is all, I took this with me. This is what I worked on when I was sitting in the motel room. And what I worked on last week between the last time y'all saw me and now. And that's all I did right there. Is this part. It's like 6 rows, something like that. Now I'm going to get this out here again in a little while. I'm going to tell you something else. That's it. I need to finish my grandson's hat. That's all the farther I am on that. And I go down to New Orleans on the 24th, so I really need to finish that, but it won't take long because I've already started the decreases. And I still got this much left on that blanket. I got to finish all of that. Okay, and that's it. I started the new job and all that stuff. So anyway, okay. I still want to forget to show you guys that stuff because I know that you wonder what I work on. And that's it. As far as like the knit and the projects and stuff, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Then my class was Be a Pattern Boss with Kate Atherley. And this is her book. I've showed y'all this when I got it. Kate Atherley. And if you want to know about what books that she has to offer, I'm going to go and get a couple more. This is a reference book that she wrote from A to Z. So basically you just start with A. This is the knitting. And there's lots of information. But here's an example. Start with A and then start, alpaca, all different things. Angora, actual, approximate, errand, armhole, as if to knit, those kind of things. So her class was interesting. It was lecture style. Some people were knitting during the class. And she said you could bring, if you had something you had a question about, like you were working on something. Can you guys guess what I brought? Yeah, I'm giving you time. If you've been watching me, you know what I've been having problems with. And I took her down there to have a look. My boxy. To work on it. Took it. She didn't look at it either. I showed her the pattern, and she helped me with the pattern. So she talked about a lot of different things, but let me get my notes. See if I have anything in here. Mostly she was talking about how to fit, if you're having trouble trying to make a garment fit. And this goes for both knit and crochet. Maybe you're looking at the wrong pattern. So just because you see a pattern and you think, ooh, I want one of those, doesn't mean it will fit you. Doesn't mean it will look nice on you. Those are the kind of things that we talked about. And so she talked about things, in relation to how they fit, what style they were. Style not meaning if it was stylish, but the style of the pattern and the garment, the way it was styled. Talked about ease, how much ease there is in something. So there was a lot of information, and it was really good. It was really good. And that was all day. That was all morning, and then there was lunch. So I only had I got out at 12:30, and then had to be back up there at 2. So that gave me an hour and a half, right? Well, the grocery girls were there. And the grocery girls were in the Suburban Stitcher booth from 1 to 2. Now, I'm going to put some pictures in. So, right about here, I'm going to put a picture of me with the Grocery Girls. So, the Grocery Girls podcast I've been watching, and it was the first podcast I watched. And Tracy was funny because I told him that. I said, y'all were my first podcast. And she goes, there's nothing like your first. She's the blonde. She is so funny. They're both funny. And Jody was funny. And I didn't get to talk to them for very long, but I really like them. And they're very much just like, you meet people and it's like, oh, they're just like they are, on their podcast or on TV or on whatever, unless they're acting a part. But they're just regular people. And so that was a lot of fun. I'm really so glad I got to meet them. And then I wandered around and I made a couple of purchases. And then I went and got something to eat from the canteen. And then I went back upstairs to my class. And then my stomach started to hurt. So I had to get up a couple of times and leave and come back. But I don't think I missed a whole lot. Judging from what was going on in the room, I don't think I missed a lot. But I will say that whatever I had did not agree with me. So that made kind of hard, but I'm getting to where it just is what it is. I'm just going to keep plugging on. And I have more to tell you about that. So then after the class, I went downstairs and did a little bit more shopping. Now, this is Friday. So I only hit and miss a couple. I didn't have a whole lot of time. And then my husband and he came and got me. Now, he drove me there. He stayed in the motel. He came and got me. We went to dinner, supper. Y'all know that in Texas, dinner is lunch. And then supper is at night. And I don't know, I guess that's a South thing, but it's that way in Texas. So when I say dinner, I mean lunch. So we went to supper, and there was this place right next door called Radizio's, and it was Brazilian food. Never had Brazilian food, but I like it. Oh my gosh, it was so good. They had rice and sort of a black bean stew. They had all kinds of salads. They had fish, like if you like shrimp and salad or crab and salad, they had those. I don't eat fish. There's not much of it that I like. And then every kind of, they had steamed vegetables, they had noodle dishes, they had soup, they had fruit. So you ate. I wanted to tell you this because it was really kind of cool. You sat down, told them what you wanted to drink and all that stuff, and they bring you a side basket, and it's got little breads, and there was fried bananas. There was a fried potato with Parmesan. There were these little cheese biscuits in there. Oh, they were good. And then you went and you got your plate and you came back. Well, they had this, looked like an hourglass, and it was red on one end and green on the other. So if you wanted them to bring you something, you turn the green end up at the end of your table. And they came out with, all the meats came out on this like rotisserie, and then they sliced you off some, and you had little tongs, and you took it and you put it on your plate. And as long as your deal was on green, they just keep bringing stuff. So you'd have to flip it over to red and take a break, and then they'd bring it. Oh my gosh, everything had that barbecued, or because it was spits. So good, sirloin and chicken wrapped in bacon and pork chops, and oh my gosh, it was so good. We were was the really the only restaurant we'd have had to drive and go and turn around and then come back and then come back around. It was the only one really kind of in our block. We went twice, 2 nights, but that was the only thing we ate all day. I had that little bit of whatever I had at the deal. I was like, I'm not doing that again. Okay, so Saturday morning went to the second class, which was just the morning, and it was with Stephanie Pearl McPhee, and she is known as the Yarn Harlot. And both of these ladies, what are the chances I take classes with both of these ladies, and they're both quite opinionated, which is okay. And Stephanie was pretty funny, actually. But they're both quite opinionated, and they are both of they know each other, they work together, they work on different projects together. Both of them they write patterns, they write for magazines, they teach, they do test knitting, they do tech editing. They're true educators for the business. Now, I could have taken crochet classes as well, because the cool thing about this festival was that it was represented by both, I'm bisexual, both crochet and knit. I could have taken part of my classes in knitting and part of them in crochet, and I'm thinking that's what I may do next year. I just didn't plan it really well, and I saw these two ladies, and I was like, oh, I want to take, you read a description of the classes when they come up, and that's what I kind of thought I'd do. Anyway, so she recommended 3 books, Stephanie did. The Principles of Knitting, which is a very old book, and she says it's quite large and it's very wordy, and yeah. And then Vogue Knitting, which I picked up. I probably showed you guys that in one of my hauls. And then the Knitter's Handbook, which was written by Barbara Walker. So this is just knitting. And she said something interesting. She said, we are, as knitters and crocheters, as we go along, we're doing our project and everything, we are textile. We're working with these tools. We're working with textiles. We're textile artists. That's kind of cool. And we use the tools and the supplies that we own to create art. The other thing that's interesting is that we're it's the only thing art out there that as you're going along and you're creating yada yada yada, and when you get done, you have this thing, and it's as you go. Just neat. So and she talked a little bit about the history of knitting and where it started, and how it got from one part of the world to another part of the world. And hers again was lecture style. And then she got into some really cool techniques. So I was really tickled about both of those classes. I learned a lot. And I have a lot of notes. And I have to email Kate Atherley, and then she's going to send a copy of her slideshow that she did so that we can take notes from that. So that's really cool to have that to go along with class. That left me with Saturday afternoon. So I again messaged my husband and I said, so do you want to go eat lunch? Da, da, da. He, well, I'll just stick around here. I went and got coffee and went back to the market. And I was there until, I think if I don't think I left until about 4. So that was 3. I spent 3 hours there, and I feel kind of bad about this because they had one area. Here's the brochure. They had one area that they call the Fibratory, and it had, and I did not get pictures of this, guys. I'm really sorry. My first festival, so I do have some pictures, but I did not take a video in there or anything. But they had the Fibratory. Trying to see if they had a picture of it. I don't think so. And they had the looms set up. They had the spinning wheels set up. They had a lady there was doing tatting. They had someone there demonstrating spinning on a spindle. They had bowls and things set up with different hooks and needles and different yarns, so that they called it a tasting, so you could see what it felt like, and, you know, because there's different things were there, different fibers were all there. Here's the front of the brochure. So it was very much represented by both knitting and crochet. And I guess that's the point I really wanted to get across when I said I wouldn't. Okay, now here's the guys that were the keynote speakers. The Sheba guys. And I got a picture with them. And so they spoke Friday night. Well, I'd had that long day of the class, and then I didn't want to spend the whole time over there, with my husband being in the motel, with nothing to do. And, so I didn't go to it. But I may try to go next year when I go and see if I can go to the event, whatever it is. I'll have to let y'all know when it comes up. So it was packed with yarn, and so here's a little bit. All these things were in that Fibratory. Here's a picture. This is an advertisement, but all of these things were down there. So here's the weaving loom, which I'm trying to talk my husband into weaving. There's your wheels. No, I did not take a spin. No, I didn't do any weaving. But I did manage to sit in on a little demonstration and watch and stuff. So that was cool. Okay. And then we came home Sunday morning. I could have stayed because it was another day, a festival on Sunday, and there was a couple places that I kind of wish I kind of kicking myself that I did not go and go to their booths. But I did enough. I did enough. Trying to see here. They have all the teachers in here. They had free classes, free crochet and knitting classes all over the place down in the vendor hall. Okay, this just tells you the booth numbers. It doesn't tell you. Yeah, so it's the booths. See, look at all this. These are all booths. And then here's where they had all the, like I said, this was where all the stuff was set up so you could watch. And then this place right here, you could sit and you could knit or crochet. Okay, I know what y'all want to see. Are you ready? What else did I have to say? Hold on, let me check my notes, because I did take a little bit of notes to kind of. Okay. Oh, how could I forget? When we got there Thursday night, there were some people down in the lobby of the hotel, and I went downstairs after we got settled in, and I met some other knitters. There was nobody crocheting down there. It was just all knitters, and I want to do a shout out to them. So I saw Irma and Alma from Corpus Christi, Patricia from Houston, and Melissa from Norman, Oklahoma. Now, Irma and Alma, see, unbeknownst to me, I didn't pay any attention, y'all, but unbeknownst to me, there was a stitch marker swap for this event. But I didn't take any because I didn't realize that was going on. But Irma and Alma did. So, this is from Alma. They made these. It's a cup and saucer. Isn't that the coolest thing? And from Irma, there we go. Made with love. And y'all, that looks blue, but it's actually very teal. Talking of focus, sorry. It's actually teal. Very pretty. So Irma and Alma and Patricia and Melissa, it was very good to meet you. We've all added each other in Ravelry. So I really enjoyed that. And Louise, I want you to know, Patricia was Portuguese knitting. And I knew you'd want to know that. Okay. Here we go. When I met the grocery girls, I got my grocery girl button. I got an invitation to go to North Texas Yarn Crawl this year in September. That'll be fun. And it tells you all the stores. No, guys, these aren't anywhere near me. Like I said, it's all about 3 hours away. I also picked up some information on the Crochet Guild of America, which I'm thinking about joining. Now there's a Knitters Guild of America too. And I don't know if I'll join that or not because I'm just uneducated as to exactly how that works. So I've got to look the two of them up and I'll let you know. Now, yes. Okay. I'm going to start with this one. This is the newest. They were talking about this gal all week. And it's called Have Wool, We Will Travel. So the yarns are based on traveling. Yarn for those who wander. Her name is Lori Whitaker, and I have a picture with her. Got a bookmark, a little tape measure on the back. So she's talking about the different shows she's going to be at. Okay, drop one. So my thought, not just with the names of these, although one of them matches pretty good, but the colors. So we've got this one, and that is spot on, guys. How gorgeous is that? This gorgeous corally pink. Oh my goodness. This is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards, and it's called Pickled Ginger. And this is her carry-on base, since it's travel related. So there's this one. And then this one is called Emerald Coast. Same base and everything, but in a teal. Now that's picking up just a little bit blue. So let me see if I can remedy that. That's better. Emerald Coast. So there's that one. And then we have this one called Sidewalks of Paris. This one is a tonal gray. That's not. So what we've got here is me and my two girls represented. This is going to be a shawl. Because 2 years ago, my youngest daughter was a flight attendant and she got to go to Paris. My oldest daughter loves that corally pink color, and I love the teal color. So that'll be the three of us. So that was the first one. Thing makes me itch. Remember, no editing. Okay, where to go? Oh, then I went to now this was in this bag. I got this bag. They gave us a bag, and then I bought this one. And it's got a place you can put your keys or a pin. There's a little pocket there. There's a pocket here on each side with the mesh. It's got this pocket on the front. Oh, I didn't see that. Look at there. I didn't even notice that was there. And it's got a small pocket, and then it's got a bigger pocket. And it's really large. There's no pockets on the inside, but it's really big. Zips closed, and it has a handle. Shoulder strap, sorry, it handles. And then here's all the sponsors. So these are all West 7th Wool, Hill Country Weavers, McKinney Knittery. They're some of the ones that were in the area. You know, semi-local to me. Okay. I went to Chicken Coop Dye Works. What did I do with your card? Huh. Chicken Coop Dye Works for the color in you. We'll show you this one because this is the one it came in this kit. So this kit is the Game of Thrones. Direwolves, dragons, and sigils. Sigils? I'm not going to say that word. Guys, there are 16 of them. These are minis. You want to see them all? If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you're going to be tickled. Okay. And if not, just bear with me. That's it. Okay. We've got Lady. That's really good right there. Like a grayish with a kind of an emerald tint to it. That's Lady. Gray Wind. Shaggy Dog. Ghost. House Tyrell, growing strong. Dragon. Nemeria. It's speckled. It's a gray with that little bit of like a lavender and speckled. House Aaron, as high as honor. That's got speckles. House Lannister, hear me roar, and the Lannister always pays his debts. House Stark, winter is coming. There we go. Summer. It's caramely. House Garrett, fire and blood. I'd like some more of that. That's really, it looks kind of red here. That's cranberry. Oh, that's pretty. Regal. House Tully, family, duty, honor. Viserion. And last one is House Martell, unbowed, unbent, unbroken. That's so pretty. Okay, that is the Game of Thrones. Now, since it's Chicken Coop Dye Works, I got, this is the fingering, 463 yards, 75% superwash, 25% nylon. And this is a foghorn base. And this is Texas tea. The reason I wanted it is because this right here looks rooster to me. It might be just a little bit purple showing, but she's calling it Texas tea. And this one is back to my childhood. This is 75-25 fingery weight on the chicken feet. So it's got different twist. You'll see that. And it's called Rhode Island Red. Look at their feet and their feathers, tail feathers. So we had Rhode Island Reds when I was younger. Love it. That was Chicken Coop. And my new bag. Okay. I got a new Notions couch. This is from Paisley Ducky. This is the inside. And I couldn't resist. It says, put your big girl panties on and deal with it. How cute is that? It's adorable. It's got beads on the top. So cute. Now, there was a vendor, yarn vendor, that had their stuff stolen on Thursday when they were parked and they were not able to be at the show. And they are called 100 Ravens. And in order to help them out, they had a raffle and everything. And this booth that I went to, it's called Bead Biz. Can you see that? Bead Biz. And so they had this kit, and it's for fingerless mitts, and you can either do knit or crochet. And I think this is the crochet kit. Yeah. And this is the yarn. It's 100 Ravens is the ones that had their stuff stolen. And this is called Seraglio. I don't know the reference. It's 137 yards, 100% merino wool. It's a DK A-ply. And you get the bag with the pattern and the yarn and the beads. And then I had to buy the little tool a beadsmith. It separates it, comes out. And so I get to do my first ever bead project because I've never done that. And that was from the Bead Biz and 100 Ravens. And also at their little store, I got this. This is the Tempestry Project Needle Wrangler. And I got the mini and the standard. And your needles go in there to keep your stitches from falling off. I had seen this on a podcast. I think it was the Naughty Knitwits. So yeah, that was that purchase. Okay. Y'all need to take a little break, go walk around a little while, come back. I know, can you see it? Holy moly, guys. Now, In a Pickle Knitting talked about this one. This is mustache yarn. It's called Ralph. In a Pickle Knitting, she does literature, knitting in literature. Ralph. It's a 75-25 fingering, 460 yards. She says stash in good health. Anyway, I'm smelling because of what it says on the label. And I picked this one up, which is denim. So I want to get the book, The Mouse and the Motorcycle. And I want to knit a pair of socks for me and a pair of socks for my grandson. He's only 4, so I have time. And I will knit me a pair of socks and him a pair of socks and get the book. And we'll read the book together. I'm so excited about that. Okay. And then, now the great thing about mustache yarn, there are two, it's already split into two. It's self-striping. And if you start them in the same exact place, they will be exactly matching your socks. This one is Night at the Roxbury. How does she do this? This is just unbelievable, isn't it? I'm going to turn into a real sock knitter. This one is the colorway for the show, for the Dallas Fort Worth Fiber Festival. It's called Wool Goggles. Because you goggle the wool. Perfect self-striping sock. Must match skeins are two identical skeins twisted together. Yeah. So pretty. Pretty nice feeling too. Okay. So I got some stuff at the bottom of my bag. This is the bag that we got. Pocket on the outside. Oh, my card's in there. Y'all seen my card? I don't know if I've shown that in a while. And then there's no pockets on the inside though. This thing is big, which came in really handy. There was a free tape measure from Miss Babs, which is one of the places I didn't go where I probably should have. There's always next year. West 7th Wool. We are here to help you when you hit a snag. Got a vibratory pin. Dallas Fort Worth Fiber Fest little tool. We've got the bottle opener. We've got light. We've got, and it swivels, tape measure. Nice little tool. We also got a Susan Bates pickup tool. This is the one that has the knit on one end and the crochet hook on the other. Got a free stitch marker too. Yeah, there's two here. And a coupon for a pattern from Four Hens Fibers. This is from the Fiber Seed, Sunshine and Wool. This is Candied Apple on their Sprout sock, which is 90% merino and 10% nylon. Sprout sock. That one's pretty. That's a nice little mini. 20 yards. It's enough for heels and toes. So that's what was in the bottom of my bag. All right, you guys ready? I got to go. This is where I really wanted to go. One of the 3 places that I went. Mustache was one. This is one. And West 7th Wool was the other. So, since Jody and Tracy were here, the grocery girls, Jody is Mrs. Brown's bags. And they're in Canada. And y'all know it's expensive to order things from over there. Well, she had bags that she brought to the Suburban Stitchers booth for the show. And I got one. And this is in the Suburban Stitchers colorway La Boheme. Mrs. Brown's bags. And it was a special price for the show. $40. Neutral inside. She does a lot of the neutrals. So you can see your knitting. There's the bottom. So this one is bigger than the one that I had before. So I'm really tickled to have this because, and it's a little sturdier. This one's got a little bit more, this is a canvasy feel. It's got your wrist, so you can have your knitting in here and wear it. Love it. Now, I didn't get this colorway, but what I did get this is the colorway for the event. It is called Irving. Irving is the closest to the event. I mean, it was really in Irving, was the Irving Convention Center. This is the DK 100% superwash merino, 250 yards. And then a new colorway that she came out with, which is not the show colorway, but it's a new colorway for this month, called Neptune, also in the DK. And then we have this, which is one of her regular colors, called Frost, also in DK. What y'all think of that? There's another project. Now, I didn't buy sweaters quantity, but I've got several that are projects. And then I wanted to go to her booth and see the colorways because she does something really phenomenal, if you ask me. And that is she does like what I call bashful colors. So these will go in with other colors in my stash. So we've got this one who is the March Hare. So I'm guessing this was for last month. This is on the 75-25, 460 yards. So pretty. I it's March Hare. This one is Overcast, 75.25. Sock weight. Can you see that just right there? And right in here. It's like a baby, like a denim blue. And then this one, which is called Whisper, also 75.25. And that is gray silver, but it's tonal. That's pretty good right there. So that is Suburban Stitcher. And I could just smack myself. I did not get a picture. I did get a picture, though, of the gal that was helping me. So I'll put that in there if you didn't already see it. Thank you, Susie. You were the best. I really appreciate your help. So that was the Suburban Stitcher. And then I also wanted to go to West 7th Wool. And they have a podcast. Diane from Suburban Stitcher has a podcast. Stacy from Mustache Yarn has a podcast with another yarn dyer and maker, and it's called Little Skein and the Big Stash. I'm trying to think of anybody else in there that had a podcast. Yeah, Stacy, and her husband's name is Brian. Oh, I have Diane's card. The Suburban Stitcher. They're all sitting over here waiting for me to pick them up. Yeah. Should be just ticking them off, putting them in my bag so that I know that I have done it. Right? But no, not what I was doing. Get my act together. Okay, so this is West 7th Wool. And they are, I'm calling them my local yarn store, okay? Like I said, they're 3 hours from me. This is Amy and Hunter. They have a podcast. I picked up one of these Skein Coats. I have to open this. I can open this now with you guys. This is PK Skein Coat. And I don't remember who PK is. It's important and I can't remember. I'm sorry. That's cool. It's textured. It's textured here. And you put this on your skein so that when you're pulling from the middle, your skein does not, your ball does not collapse on you. See, like this. Now I have ball bags and I love them and they do help a lot. But this is supposed to be different, and I thought, well, I'll try it. We'll see. So there you go. You put your ball in there, your cake, and you pull from the center, and this is supposed to go in with the cake as it goes. Skein Coats. So I'm trying one of those. Now, they carry a lot of different things, a lot of indie hand-dyed yarn. This one is Lemonade Shop. Now, I tested this earlier to make sure you were going to get that brightness. Purple, some pink, and all this charcoal stuff in here. It's not black. It's real charcoal. Look at that in there. Oh my goodness. We got to make this naked. This is 459 yards. It's a 75-25. This is fingering. And this is called Skunk Punk Rainbow. There's all this pink and speckle. And then, what? Ross, you know you love that right there. Smells like yarn, Ross. Too pretty. I suck at doing that. Oh, it's so pretty. That's Lemonade Shop. The lemonadeshopyarns.com. And then they are a very big distributor. Oh, I got their pin. So that'll go on my bag. But they are a distributor of Madeline Tosh. And Madeline Tosh is made in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's called, this is Mad Tosh. And these are one-of-a-kinds. They have a huge deal of one-of-a-kinds. This one is called, it doesn't have a name because it's one of a kind. This is a Tosh Sport. 100% merino. Superwash. 270 yards. 200 and, because I can't read that. It's under this tape. I think that says 247 meters. If you need to know, y'all let me know. Anyway, here they are. There's like slight speckle in there. Now these look black or charcoal, but you know what? It's actually got a lot of denim, dark denim. Like if you were to get a pair of dark jeans, you don't see that there? Oh, it's super pretty. And the sport, and this has a lot of twist. The twist makes it stronger. So pretty. I don't have anything really in that color. You know what I mean? In my hand dyed stuff, I don't. Okay, so Hunter asked Matt Tosh to come up with a colorway for them for the store, for West 7th Wool. And they worked, he said they worked really hard with Photoshop and all kinds of stuff to come up with the right color, for the color they wanted. And this is the Tosh Merino Light in glitter, sparkle, 90% merino, 8% acrylic, and 2% stellina. So this is dyed by hand in Texas from wool ethically sourced in South Africa. So Mad Tosh. This is called 7 Seas. Mad Tosh. Madeline Tosh. You see all that green? You're not seeing all that green. There. I learned this from the Chelsea Pearls. Oh, so pretty. Of course I had to get that. That was from West 7th. And I got pictures with them too. Okay, and last but not least, these two ladies. Oh no, I got one more thing to tell you. But these two ladies were in the motel with us. And I would see them at breakfast and around the motel. And the first one, and they travel together. And the first one, and I had heard of her before, and I got her pin. And she does self-striping. So this is an 80-20 in 400 yards. And she says, friends don't let friends craft with insipid yarn. This is white birch. I wanted a rainbow. Isn't that pretty? And the name of it is Nothing Says Screw You Like a Rainbow. I just love that. White birch. And then her traveling companion for shows is another hand dyer. Like I said, there are two stores that travel together. And what was her name? I can't remember her name. I'm sorry. Anyway, she dyes yarn based on this is yarn literature. It's canon hand dye. Canon hand dyes. Yes. Now they're from up in Oregon, the two of these ladies, up in that Oregon, Washington area. This one is called, this is her Naked Bruce. So this has got no dye on it. This is the natural wool. Yeah, you're not seeing that color. There you go. Little bit of a more tan than showing up. This is 65% superwash merino, 20% silk, and 15% yak. It's my first yak, and it's undyed. 520 yards, 120 grams. Show you that's got her website and her number. And I got it to go with this set called fried green tomatoes. So this set is the same base, and it's roughly between 100 and 132 yards each. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. Now let me undo this so we can see those better. I haven't opened this box yet. There they are. That's coming up a little bit bright. It's a little better. So those and this one is going to be, and I haven't printed it out yet, but it's going to be on the Spice Market by Melanie Berg. See, this would make all of these patterns. When I started, I will show y'all. You haven't passed out yet. That's all the yarn. I have one more. Hold on, I'll show you. Now, if y'all don't know, you're saying fried green tomatoes. That was a movie. The book is by Fannie Flagg. And it was actually fried green tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. Okay, I bought my husband a pair of socks from the Buffalo Wool Company. And they are 73% bison, 24% nylon, and 3% lycra. And I bought him the boot socks. And he loves them. I asked him, I'm like, okay, seriously, these are made. Very, very cool. Bison. And I got a set of minis from them. And this is 50% bison and 50% silk. And this is called their sexy base. And they're minis. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 8. Yeah, amazing. This is some super light stuff, guys. Super light. Feels really good though. Very nice. Very pretty colors too. Very bright, vibrant colors. So I guess these are 20 yards each. I'll have to let you know. Because this says 20 yards in a variety of colors. So this may be a total. See, I thought those were kind of small. This may be a total of 20 yards. But it's still, you know, if you were doing a stripe something, probably a hat. Now that booth is where I found the Shiba guys. So they wrote 2 books, and I think it's just the 2 books. But anyway, so here they were like the keynote speakers and all that kind of stuff. And I find them down there at the Buffalo Wool Company booth. So their first book was this one, Designer Crochet, 32 Patterns to Elevate Your Style, sizes small to 5X. Shannon Mullet Bowlesby. There's a better picture. I can't remember if I showed you a picture. Here they are. Shannon and Jason. They are so nice. Really nice guys. Very, very talented. And guess what? They signed it. They signed the other one too. Very cool. I think they were doing signings at the event on Friday night too. So anyway, they have some really very nice pieces in here. And all of them are done in this particular book with lighter yarns. So there's nothing in here that's like a bulky, in other words. So this is from a 0 to a 4. Here's the duster. There's a cloaked hoodie with a zipper. I'm not going to show you all of them. There's too much in here. There's a Rowana, belted Rowana. Beautiful, beautiful stitches in there. Stitch pattern. Here's a beginner cardi. I can't wait to do that one. I kind of like the red too. They're using Cascade 220 Sport. If I had more of that Madeline Tosh, that would be pretty. I love this. This is done in Knit Picks fingering. Beautiful. This scarf and beanie could be it's a beanie, a cowl, and wrist warmers. And this could definitely be male or female. That's neat, isn't it? And then this one, again, they signed it. Crochet Geometry. So these are done with like geometric shapes and stuff. There's a couple of shrugs. I like that they did these on Real Women. I love this one with all the pattern in it. Very classic. No buttons, no fuss, no muss, but look how pretty these sleeves are. Look at the pattern in here. Very, very nice stuff. I'm really impressed. So here this one is on this size person, and then here it is back here on this size person. And that is both sides. That's basically a T with this dip here on the front and back. They're really, really great patterns. A lot of good information in here, a lot of tips and how to do stuff, and they have schematics and measurements. Very nice, very nicely done. So Shannon wrote the patterns, and Jason is a photographer, and they're married. The Sheba guys. Some of you said you'd already followed them. Okay. One more thing I wanted to do before I go. I wanted to let y'all know that I'm probably going to open up a Ravelry group here pretty soon in the next couple weeks whenever I figure out how to do all that. And I want to show you my chicken scratch here because I want to do some shout outs. So we've got Bag O' Day Crochet. Everybody knows Crystal from Bag O' Day Crochet. I watch her. This is podcasts that I watch and people that I follow. The Canadian Crocheter, which is Debbie. Summer's Tips and Stitches, Summer. Meladora's Creations. I have been watching her since before I watched the Crochet Craft. And she does both left and right-handed crochet. Setta's Place, Setta. Yarn Joy, Terry. Scraptastic Yarns, Jay. And if you guys don't already follow her, I follow a crafty crocheter. And then Jan Carruthers. If you are available on Saturdays, she does a crafting get together on YouTube. And I start watching her at 4. Now that changes with the time change, but I start at 4 Central Time. So if you can coordinate with that and come join us on YouTube. Jan Carruthers. Marley Bird she's by Stitchwell. She does both crochet and knit. And she's the spokesperson for Red Heart. And she does a lot of really good interviews. And then somebody new that I wanted to do, she's part of our crafting on Saturday night. And that is Jenny from Jenny Crochet Zone. So if y'all could go follow her and check her out. And then the knitting podcast that I like to watch are Very Pink Knits. She has a lot of great tutorials. Smells Like Yarn, Ross. The Grocery Girls. And they're called the Grocery Girls because their parents own a grocery store and they work in the grocery store. And so when they started their podcast, they're the Grocery Girls. So there you go. The Naughty Knitwits, that is Leslie and Michelle. Honeybee Knits, Melissa. You guys have seen me show her yarn. Knit for Brains, that's Laura and Alicia. The Chelsea Pearls, that's Miriam. Is it Chelsea? I can't remember. Sorry, I can't remember. But they're the Chelsea Pearls. The Fiber Friends podcast, and that is Louise, Adrian, and Caroline. And Caroline does cross stitching too. So does Louise. Adrian used to dye yarn. They're the Fiber Friends podcast. And Louise hosts the Fiber Friends Friday Night Knit In on Facebook. And then another one I like everybody to go and check out is Made by Me, and her name is Cassie. And she's the one I told y'all was doing the initiative for starting new knitters. So I want to do that. I want to do some shout outs, and I'm going to go through my subscribers. I'll see if I can find you guys who have the podcast and see if I can't do some shout outs to that too. I just didn't have that ready yet. I was going to tell you about my medicine. It is starting to work. I went to the doctor last week and he put me on, I have to take 2,000 milligrams of Pepto-Bismol and an Imodium every morning with my 3 pills. It's a lot, but it's starting to work. And that is doing that instead of having to take steroids. That was the next step. So if this doesn't work, then I'll have to take steroids. And he's trying to do the minimal stuff to try and get me there without having to hit it so hard, because colitis is not something, I have colitis. It's not something that is cured. You just get it into remission to where it's under control. And it takes about 3 to 4 months for the medicine to start working, because it has to heal the colon. And our colon, let's face it, it's long. It goes all the way around. And then in the middle, you got the smaller intestine, which goes like, football field. It's a lot to heal. So it takes a while. And I'm happy that this is starting to work, that this is starting to help. And I think if I can do this while it's healing, I think I'm going to be able to manage this a lot better. So, and I am feeling better. And the job is going really well. Tomorrow I get training, and tomorrow and Wednesday I have training to learn how to make the candle melts and to learn how to process the essential oils. And so I've been cleaning and I've been organizing, and my boss just said, it's all yours, just whatever you think. Y'all have seen my organization. I like things a certain way. And what I'm trying to do is to organize it, do it to where it all makes sense. So I'm getting there. It'll take a little while. So that's what I got for you guys. I know this is long. I know there wasn't a whole lot of projects and stuff, but I hope you enjoyed it. I had a great time. I feel very blessed to have gotten to go, and I'm glad I could come share it with you guys. So we'll see you again soon. Bye, y'all.